So we're live on the Spreaker. We're live on Zoom. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates with me, your host, ScarleT Anonymous. Ron Tyler is off for the evening. I gave him the night off, and so he could spend time with his lovely wife and family. So with that being said, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to have all of you guys here tonight. We'll be talking about a few different things tonight. We'll be talking about the coronavirus. We're going to be talking about the Houston explosion. And we're going to be talking about the recent M4.7 that just occurred, but actually it's a 5.2, in California. So this is a bar mocha nitro coffee drink from Caribou Coffee, which is the greatest coffee that ever lived. Okay, it's in, a few states in Minnesota, but it's a great coffee place. All of their ingredients are clean, and it's really good coffee, and it has nitrogen in it, you guys. I'm going to need a lot of energy because I'm going to be on air until 2 a.m. Central Standard Time doing Emergency Management Associates, and I will be doing Clarity After Dark tonight with my co-host, Red Gypsy. So that'll be good. Oh, I guess I'll wait to put my other drink in my friend mug.
Okay, sorry to interrupt again. For some reason the video's not working on the site. Just roll with it. It's live on Twitch.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, we got to roll with it. We got to do what we got to do.
I wasn't either.
I mean, hot mic. Yeah, we'll just roll with it. Can you let everybody know? Can you put an announcement up on the top, like, video not working on site, go to Twitch, go to, somewhere so they can actually see me live right now? That might be an idea. Could you do that? No? Yes, no?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, cool. I don't even have to use it because it won't let me use my microphone, but you can hear me. And so that's a really slick thing, you guys. I actually enjoy that quite a bit. I'm going to try to see if I can make this light less, obtrusive. I need a light because my light doesn't work behind me, but I think that's better. Okay. I just felt like it was really bright, you guys. Why is it so bright? Why are you torturing me? Oh, look at my cool sign, ScarleT EMA behind me. Don't you love it? It's great. I thought it would be fun to put up tonight while we were live. Alright, and then we're going to get back to the screen sharing and all that good fun stuff, because apparently we weren't live. So, and that's what, like I said earlier with the first 2 tries, that, sometimes live is not your friend, you guys. Not your friend. Sometimes you try to be live and you do everything right. You have all the settings, you double, triple check, and when you're still live, you get nada. So, I mean, you can come up with every idea that you want to protect yourself, but then it's going to come to bite you in the butt. So, all right, let's see. I'm going to text Red and let her know that I'm actually doing Ron's program right now. Because I don't even think she knows, and she'll probably try to call here pretty soon and be like, what are you doing? And then I'm doing Ron's show. So, we're going to start doing the screen share, everybody. Are you ready? So, for those who are listening on the Spreaker right now, what we've got going on is an M5.2 in Southern California that just popped up. And I was screen sharing before. Oh, yeah, now it's working really great. We'll also maybe do that. And do that. And do this. Oh. I didn't know you could do all this. Okay, anyway. We're going to take our screen. We're going to share that. Well, actually, maybe a new tab. Well, no. Okay. We'll start from here. So, here's the Freedom Revolution Network. We're going to go down. I'm going to go check out and see if anybody's in chat. See what we got going on. Say hello to the people. Hello, people. So I do see that we are live. But see, sometimes it shows like... See, it takes a second. You guys, you see what's going on here. Alright. Hello. So. Yeah, we don't know what's going on, everybody. We're sorry. No! See? Look. Even ScarleT has glitches. Because I am not used to playing with this trackpad at all. And I literally put my hand on it. Right. So. We're going to keep going. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Mel gave me that information that it wasn't working. I'm going to tell everybody you can watch on Twitch for one of our other live stream. So just let everybody know that. Okay, we're going to keep going down. All right. So now, we're going to go back to the earthquake. I just wanted to see if anybody was in chat. Latest earthquakes. Here we go. 4.6 north-northeast of Barstow, California. And there's two there. There's the M2.9 that happened right after it at about 6 minutes after the first quake. So let's go look at that. No tsunami warning issued. This says depth 3.8 kilometers and or 2 miles according to the Tsunami Warning Center. So it was about 2 miles underneath the ground. So, you know, relatively deep. I mean, you know, moderate, you know, to the surface. A shallow quake, I guess, in terms of, you know, the crust. But we have to remember that their fault out there in Barstow and in Ridgecrest area broke. And they've had hundreds of thousands of earthquakes since the 7.1, 7.3 happened earlier this summer that Ron and I covered, as well as many other YouTubers out there. There was also a 3.1, 17 kilometers west-northwest of Garland, Utah today, as well as 2.7, 9 kilometers west of Cobb, and then that anomalous 4.5, 46 kilometers west-northwest of Nia Bay, Washington. This one's interesting because it's right on the other side of the Vancouver Island Ranges, right out kind of in the ocean, but kind of in that sound region. Very interesting. We haven't really seen activity there before. You know, the moment sensor looks pretty stretched. It looks like it kind of hit and then kind of, you know, dissipated out compared to what it looked like. What's this shake alert confirmed? What's shake alert, you guys? I don't know what shake alert is. Provides the performance of shake alert during this event. Oh. Initial alert after time of origin, 13.6 seconds. Final alert update after origin time, 26.2 seconds. Magnitude accuracy. Initial shake alert was at M4.5. Final shake alert, M4.2. ANSS report, 331 seconds after origin, M4.5. Oh, so shake alert is like the epicenter kind of predictor and how well it works around from the epicenter. Okay. Did not know about shake alert. Did not know it existed. Dude, what's their product look like on here? Let's see. Just interested to see this because I haven't ever looked at this before. You know, all of these proprietary products that they claim that they have, I find very interesting because are they quite proprietary? You know, how does a proprietary program that tells you something the same way a seismogram or seismometer does just because we call it something fancy and now we copyright it. I think all science should be open source. I think that's something that needs to change in our scientific communities. I think that at this point, there's something that could be learned by everybody using it. So, it's very interesting. We're going to close this tab, and then we're going to go to the EMSC again and go see what we've got going on, because I'm going to show you guys on EMSC on the back seismologist page if you guys weren't here before or able to see the video. There was an M4.7. We have 132 reports. Let's go see the testimonies for it. The apartment I was in shook a little and something very light fell off the shelf, shaking for a few seconds in Barstow. The vehicle shook and I could feel the mild rolling. Came and went quickly. Knickknacks flying off shelves. Somebody said they were just by Barstow. Heard it before we felt it. Not as bad as the one in July. Felt earthquake, shook side to side, shook the house and felt it get rolled from one side to the other. And see, and that's what was interesting about the moment tensor that we looked at, because let's remember that the moment tensor was very squished and very compact. So it's actually not surprising that they felt like it shook from one side to the other, because it kind of looked like a rolling wave on the moment tensor. Shaking felt southwest to northeast, back and forth, no vertical. Felt like a thud from upstairs in my room. Slight jolt made things rattle on my shelves. Swaying motions. So a lot of people from Apple Valley and Hillendale, which are very close. Victorville, California, which is 71 kilometers southwest from the epicenter. Somebody said they didn't feel it, but everybody in their home did. Felt it here near Victorville. Had a real sudden sharp rise, then kind of like a low, almost humming feeling for about 10 to 15 seconds after the initial jolt. Somebody says in Victorville, I felt it. Somebody else says, felt in Victorville, felt in Herspia. Felt slight movement in Victorville. Gentle sway lasted 10 seconds. Felt about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Was laying down when I felt my whole bed shake in a 360 motion. Gently rocked my car in a parking lot. Someone said they didn't feel it. Felt it. Weak jiggle like jelly. Small jolt. Felt it here in California City. Big Bear City. Couple of jolts, then gentle rolling. Chair definitely shook, but only about 2 seconds in Edwards, California. San Bernardino, it shook. Sometimes it's interesting that people took the time to literally log into EMSC just to say it shook. Why even spend the time? Honestly, people. Crest line rattled, but no damage. Definitely noticed a sudden drop, then some rocking just outside Ridgecrest. This is in Anoka. Slight jolt I felt in Rosemont, California. Felt like the floor was rolling, San Bernardino. Let's go down a little bit more. Felt it rocking in Yucaipa, Lancaster, very slight roll. Felt it here in Palmdale. Heard it then a strong roll. I'm going to turn off my notifications. Forgot about that. Someone in Palmdale said I'll never get used to the feeling of it moving. A roll, then 2 more, about 5 seconds total. It was less than the one I reported last time. Based on first reports, it was more than the previous report of 3.6. This one is less movement, but longer. I'm from the Midwest. Felt an afterquake, and I just received a notification, or maybe it was a quake delayed since I'm 165 miles away. Interesting. That's a long ways to be feeling it. Walnut, California. My chair rocked a bit. Sandy Valley. Ceiling light fixture swayed back and forth in La Canada, Flint Ridge. Canyon Country jolted, then rolled. Pahrump. Pahrump is in Nevada, y'all. That's a pretty far bit away to feel it in Pahrump. Pahrump is the home of Art Bell. And you're talking a good hour, hour and a half, at least, drive away that they felt this. Anaheim, Los Angeles, felt it in Burbank. Felt a tiny rumble when sitting on my couch watching TV. Paused to question what the movement was. Looked up to see my living room blinds. Wasn't certain it was an earthquake till I opened Twitter and saw EMSC tweet. Oh yeah, let's look at Twitter. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't even think about that, but that's a good idea. Let's see. I'm at That Clarity Show on Twitter, if you guys want to look me up. No. Anyway. So, let's see what we've got. California earthquake. Search Twitter, California earthquake. And this is a good idea if you guys want to know how to do this too. How to search for things on Twitter. It's kind of important to know how to do. People are excited. That's how it is, though, when an earthquake happens. This is me and Ron, you guys. Look. Me and Ron during an earthquake. Right there. That gif is life. Okay. Computer. Get your life together. Oh, I did that. My bad. Okay. I'm damning my computer when I did it to myself. But, continuing on. Okay, so, there's the MSC's tweet that the woman was talking about. 69 kilometers northeast of Victorville, California. That was their original tweet. So that's interesting. Barstow, California, shaken by magnitude 4.6. Let's see. And, oh, that's an interesting comment right there, where the guy says, "To my California peeps in Houston, did you feel it?" refers to the latest chemical explosion, not the latest earthquake. Now, why that's interesting is because, yes, earlier today in Southwest Houston, there was an explosion, a huge explosion. This destroyed 180 homes. And people said it was like a bomb going off. Like a bomb going off. People's homes, people's roofs collapsed. People's windows blew out, front doors blew off the hinges. I have never seen anything like this. Like, even the last disaster in Texas that Ron and I covered, and that we came on the air in the middle of the night for, which I thought about last night coming on when this occurred, because I was up covering it, because I was up watching stuff about coronavirus and keeping up top with that. But this is interesting, because in the same time this is happening, you know, we've had two explosion-like feelings today. People are really freaking out by this. And people are probably concerned. You know, look, earthquake mode in Southern California tonight. People are asking, what if this is the year we're going extinct? Australia's burning, Africa's flooding, the coronavirus has millions on lockdown, California is overdue for a catastrophic earthquake, threat of nuclear war. It really is a tense situation right now. It is something that we all should be aware of. There's a lot of things happening. You know, here's 8 News Now article, 4.6 magnitude reported in Barstow, felt in Las Vegas Valley, which that's like a 2-hour drive away. I hope people kind of realize how far this is to feel this that far away. People have, their opinions about California, but I would never want to wish harm onto the people of California for something like this. This is just devastating. To be absolutely honest. It's truly just devastating. Interesting. 26 years ago on the 17th was the Northridge quake. People wonder if there is some type of correlation with time of year and earthquakes. I do wonder, because of planetary alignment and what we know about planetary alignment, could that be true? It's just really something to think about. At this point, because why does it seem to have earthquakes happen at the same time of year? Large ones happen. Most of the large earthquakes that have happened, even in like Indonesia and other places, usually happen between like December and March. The 9.1 in Japan with Fukushima, that happened in March. This time of year, people believe we're on the backside of a planetary alignment, of which puts us in play to have some serious issues with earthquakes and volcanoes and that whole situation. So, I find that interesting. So, until we find anything more, obviously we're not going to panic over one earthquake. That's just not something that is smart. But, like I said, it is something to watch, considering when we see here that we had a large earthquake earlier today. We've had a couple in the San Francisco Bay. Eastern Turkey is swarming after the large 7.0 earlier today. It's something that we're starting to see increased seismic activity in areas that we have not seen increased seismic activity before. And so what's behind it? Look, a Chinese earthquake. We should look into these too, because I don't know how far these are away from certain states that have the coronavirus activity. Because, we haven't seen earthquakes from China reported in a long time, right? And now all of a sudden we're getting earthquakes reported. This looks like it's in the mountains, not by any people. Yeah, I don't know if there's even like people up in this area. This looks like a really mountainous, treacherous terrain area. So that's good. Likelihood of people actually being there who could be in danger would be low, which is important. So let's see what we've got here. Michoacan, Mexico. Why is it swarming here? Did we get a large quake here? Why is it swarming? What do we got here? Where's the faults? Please move this window away from the shared application. What does this mean? Okay. I don't know what that means. But, okay. I'm working on it, you guys. I don't know how to necessarily use all of these doodads, but we're trying here. So, we're going to kind of pull this down. I'm going to go look at the chat again. See what everybody's talking about in chat. Hello, chat pit friends. Let's see. We've got, thanks Mel and people who put the Twitch link on there. I appreciate that. Because that way we can actually get things going on. Alright, so now we'll talk about coronavirus. Because we're going to stop the share real quick. We'll come back to me. We'll go back to streaming in a second. Okay, so we're going to talk about coronavirus. And why we're going to talk about coronavirus is because everybody's talking about the coronavirus, right? So, what the issue with coronavirus is that this is the same strain. It's called a novel coronavirus, okay? And this one's name is novel coronavirus 2019. Other novel coronavirus strains in the past have been novel coronavirus 2012, which is MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, and SARS. And SARS was from 2002, the one that infected over 8,000 people and 800 died. And that was a big pandemic deal back then. Now, those are all novel coronavirus strains. The coronavirus in general isn't deadly, okay? And it's similar to a cold, but can morph into bigger problems like pneumonia. Or with this new coronavirus, we've been hearing reports of kidney failure and kidney shutdown. Now, there is a document from the Chinese government that I do need to decode and translate, but it does have so far all the reports of the dead and what their clinical process was. So it'll say like gentleman age 72 from wherever in China, you know, had symptoms for 5 days, was admitted to the hospital, and then after that, you know, was demised. So I'm going to look through that report to try to, you know, check out more to see, because so far what I've seen is it's been mostly elderly and older people with compromised immune systems, which would make sense. Similar to like the flu, which already this year has killed 6,000 people. It's similar to that. Now, some people are calling it the Wuhan flu or this or that, but it is a coronavirus. They have tested for it. They do have a diagnostic test, but the diagnostic test, according to what I've looked into, they've run out of these test kits in places all over China. Now, if you go to the Freedom Revolution Network Facebook page, I'm pulling up my phone right now because I have all the articles that I used before on here. If you go to Freedom Revolution Network's Facebook page, there's some I've been posting for the last day about the coronavirus and about what's been happening with this coronavirus. Okay, so we're going to kind of go back to the beginning. This coronavirus outbreak started on the 30th of December in China. And ever since then, it's been exploding in its nature. Not that, and I don't think we should panic. I'm not going to be here to tell you guys to panic. Oh, the world's ended. We're all going to die. No. Okay? No. We're not going to do that here. We don't fearmonger here. We are here to prepare. And if you at least have some immune system boosting properties, you know, some herbs, maybe some teas, some tinctures, oils, you know, natural vitamin C, natural, you know, colloidal silver, you might be able to get through something like a coronavirus. A friend recently said that her children had a coronavirus in the last month. And when they diagnosed the children with the coronavirus, they weren't very concerned that it was deadly or that, you know, it was a big concern. But there are also 8 different strains of human coronavirus. And like I said, with SARS, MERS, and now the Wuhan strain of coronavirus, they're all novel coronaviruses, which means new. Novel means new in the scientific world for new viruses. Now, the interesting part about this is that this disease did not exist before 2002. There's no record of it. They do not know that it exists. They cannot find it anywhere else in molecular structure before 2002. So, why is it taking so long to load? I just want to see the post. Okay. So, oh, and we had a video sent in by a listener. I wonder if I can show you guys when we get to talking about the explosion later. Remind me to show you the video from the listener. We got 2 different videos from listeners this morning who were in Texas who allowed us to use their video. So, let's see what we've got. We're going to go back, because I got to go back about a day back in these posts to start off and kind of explain what's happening, what's going on, and we're going to talk about Hal Turner Show's post because a lot of people have been posting it. It's been spreading like wildfire. We're going to talk about it. Tonight we're going to talk about, are the myths true? Is fear-mongering worth it on this? And what type of serious threat are we really looking at? So, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, let's see while I'm not sharing if I can pull up. I don't know if Facebook will work, but I'm going to try to pull it up so that I can pull up the map. So there's a map of the coronavirus, and I'm going to actually send it to Mel so then I can pull it up. But there's a real-time map of coronavirus that we're going to look all together with. And I will show you currently how many people are infected and all that good fun stuff. So let's see where it is. There we go. Send it to myself and then open up Messenger. And then I can share it with you guys. Okay, so we're going to go back to the post. So I'm doing one thing at a time. Now, one person who's been doing like consistent live streams for hours and hours and does really good research, I highly recommend Steve Lookner from Agenda Free TV. Now, certain things he won't show, like some of the videos and things, and he won't show news, which I understand because you're supposed to, if you are restreaming news, you should be paying for it. So she's going to post it on the page. Yeah, oh yeah, you could put it on the website too. Like live, real-time coronavirus tracker. That would be dope. I'd appreciate that. Because it's a good map. And what it does is it, like I said, shows everybody real-time what's actually happening with this coronavirus, how many people are infected, all of that good fun stuff, which I think is quite important. You kind of want to see where this thing is at. And, you know, oh yeah, it looks really nice on the computer too. I've only been looking at it on the phone. So actually, we'll pull that up while we're talking. You guys can see that. I'm going to close this because I don't need that now. And I'm going to open up the Zoom. And then I'm going to share my screen. So everybody can share my screen. Oh, there we go. Boom. That's exactly what I want to share. So, I'm going to open it up. I don't know if it's yelling at me because it wants it to be bigger or what. Alright. So, here it is. We've got the Wuhan coronavirus 2019 nCoV global cases as of January 24th, 2020, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's about 6 hours ago. So we know it's over 1,000 now. So this hasn't quite been updated. Now, I wonder what's making them not have this real time anymore. This was a real time map. And I wonder what happened with that. So, 26 deaths we're still at, supposedly updated just a minute ago. Okay. 36 have recovered, total recoveries. Okay, so people who have survived the coronavirus and have recovered. The areas in which the coronavirus has spread, it's almost spread to every province in China pretty much. The earthquake was kind of over here, if we are, counting where the earthquake was. And I haven't clicked on each of these individual little dots to see what they'll give us. So in Henan and mainland China, there's 9 confirmed, 42 suspected, confirmed suspected 51 total. So we haven't seen anybody die, but there's quite a few there. Shanghai itself has confirmed 20 cases, 22 suspected cases, 1 recovered case. And right now in Shanghai, they are testing everybody coming in vehicles into Shanghai. Shanghai has a population of 25 million people. So with that being said, just think about what type of roadblocks, what type of police presence, what type of military presence would have to be available, okay, to stop a city with 26,000 or 26 million people. Just saying. Okay. So now total confirmed cases are over 1,000. We know that. Steve Lookner let us know that when I think B&O News on Twitter reported that. If you guys, I think we can go over to B&O News here in a second. I just want to kind of just show you what the map looks like. And I do believe they do have all the global cases. If you make the map smaller or larger, I do believe that you can see where it is all over the world. I'm sure there's little dots everywhere. So there is a confirmed case in Washington. There's also a confirmed case in Chicago. There is possible cases in many other places as well. There's a few in France, and the 3 in France they believe potentially are human transmission cases, where it's human to human, because 3 people in the same family, and one who has not even traveled to China are under suspicion of coronavirus, as well as 2 people in Vietnam who went to China, passed it to a family member who did not go to China at all. So they're finding out that it's actually mutating into something that can have human-to-human transmission, of which they did not know if that would happen, if human-to-human transmission was even potentially possible. So that's something interesting. We're going to open up B&O News. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Going to look up B&O News, because they're decent. I mean, they usually try to have some good breaking news stories, as well as some interesting articles and links and all that good fun stuff. I'm surprised I'm not following them. Let's see. So, Australia's first case is a Chinese national in his 50s being treated in a hospital near Melbourne. New coronavirus has officially passed 1,000. Oh, tracking coronavirus map and data. Oh, they're doing their own. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Is that the map? No? Where'd it go? You guys have just disappeared. Okay, well, let's see. There it is. B&O News map. So let's see what we got. I'm interested to see this because we're looking at this for the first time live together. I haven't got to see this quite yet. And then we're going to go back to the articles and then kind of start from there. So we've seen in the past week, the case is basically I don't even know how many times you could say this would be quadruple, like 6 times. I just don't quite know how many you could say this is. Since this is slowing down, we're just going to kind of forget that. We're going to go back to Twitter, though, for sure. Yeah, why is it taking so long? Alright. But, you gotta roll with it, you guys. So, Europe's first cases, like I said, they have the first confirmed cases. There's 2 people. There's 3 total people now who all have this issue going on. Ooh, strong earthquake in Turkey. Oh, let's watch the video. Oh, look at that, y'all. That's terrible. Look at it. So we know that people are dead as well in Turkey. I think the last I heard were 18 dead in Turkey. Let's go see what the trending topic for coronavirus is and go see what the top searches are while I pull up some of these articles. N95 mask does not protect against the nCoV 2019 Wuhan virus. Okay? I know everybody's saying N95 covers it. And it may cover some particulates. But the best thing is they do make antiviral masks. I don't know if people know about that. They do make antiviral masks. And so that way you could stop some of the virus and bacteria. Something you could also use is like thieves oil on your mask. They do have essential oil masks as well that you can put essential oils in your mask. and then it will help kill the bacteria that you're breathing in. Oh, that's a trending joke. Just saying. And look at this. Okay, so bubonic plague, 1320s, Black Death, 1429, 1520s, Aztec Empire destroyed by smallpox, 1620, all of Mayflower passengers die almost with disease and infect most of the colony, 1720s, Great Plague of Marseille, 1820s, cholera, Los Angeles, pneumonic plague, as well as in the 1920s, you had the Spanish flu. This is the cyclical cycle of potential pandemics as well. We've seen this happen quite often in history. I hate when it does this. Okay, there we go. This is a rough translation from a Chinese doctor in Wuhan, China, who sent a video to inform the public. Let's go see. The supplies are in great shortages. Our medical team, who just got off their shift, are deployed to the front line again. The reason that I'm practically making this video at the front line is to alert you all and to raise your awareness. Let me emphasize once again during the Spring Festival, do not go out. Stay home. Otherwise, why are we risking our lives? It's for my family, my loved ones, and their health. I hope you can understand. I also understand that my family members do not access social media. So if you see this information, please pick up all the phones, call around, notify each other. This is something you must do. You must do your best to educate yourself regarding this disease. This is a political assignment. Okay, let's go see what it other says. I would like to inform you with very bad news. The coronavirus has mutated. It is now a second-generation virus. When it was still in its first generation, we were able to treat this. However, after the last mutation, it became deadly. This is because pneumonia is no longer one patient infected one other person. In this generation, one patient will infect 14 others. The rate of infections are now increasing exponentially. So everybody's a super shedder. Holy crap. Okay, so what they're saying with this is that every person now is a super shedder. So usually how these diseases work is that, you can only usually share to one person, and that's usually how it works, and then the next person travels to the next. But if one person can infect 14 people, and those 14 people can infect 14 people, and those 14 people, you start getting an exponential amount of people at that point with multiples. That's actually a really scary precedent. Like I said, it's not something to be complete panic over because you can treat illnesses. What you're going to want to be aware of, though, is if you're somebody who has autoimmune disorder, if you have, or if you're immunocompromised already, you're not going to want to be around if this comes our way. Now, it's hard to say. Now, you guys, they're saying it's spring in China. So one thing they told me to be very aware of, and one thing I want you all to be aware of when we're looking at pictures from supposedly China and looking on Twitter and believing what we see, right? It is the end of winter, early spring in China right now. Okay? And so with that being said, we want to look for trees, and these look like evergreens, so I'll give it a break. And trees can look like this after winter, early spring, before the buds come. But we need to pay attention for pictures that actually look like it's the end of winter, early spring there. Because there's a lot of pictures that they're showing, okay, of people who are, supposedly passing out in the streets and collapsing, right? Of which you see leaves and green on the trees. Now, that would not be the case. Okay? So, right now, because it's actually winter into spring. So we have to be really, really careful about some of the videos that we're seeing. Like, these look more realistic because there isn't any leaves on the trees, like I said. And you see evergreens that are green. But we've got to be careful because like this meme, hearing all this news about coronavirus when you have a cold, because it literally has the same symptoms. There isn't much difference truly, with that and this. Okay. Now, some people say that the coronavirus comes from bat soup. Maybe. But we can't prove that either. We don't even know where it came from. We can barely test for it. So, if you think that it can protect you, I don't know. I don't know. If we can't test for it, how can we say, do not eat bat soup? How can we protect those people? Because if that's the case, but do millions of people eat bat soup? Is it hundreds of thousands of people? How many people? Is this something everybody eats? And because now it's turned in and mutated, does that even matter anymore? Right? Because if it's mutated now to the next level, does it even matter that people ate bats and got it from that to begin with? I mean, yeah, you would want to warn people not to continue to do this behavior, but when you think about it, if it's now mutated, how does that advice help? So that's the one thing that I'm interested in. A lot of jokes about this. There's a lot of haha funnies, lots of memes. But here's the problem with it too. And I'm going to stop the share really quick to come back. 30% of the people who have perished in this have not had a fever. And so now even the screening criteria of what we should be looking for with coronavirus has changed. So that makes me concerned about how to actually go about looking for this, because if people can get coronavirus and die without a fever, but yet fever, runny nose, cough, lethargy are the symptoms, how are you even supposed to now monitor and gauge for this? That's my number one question in all of this is, how do you even gauge for that? Because that was our main function that we used, was we're testing for the coronavirus. We're looking for, we're going to test everybody in the airports, and we're going to take their temperature with a little temperature gun, and if you have a fever, we're going to quarantine you. Well, now that those people are dying without a fever, how do you quantify the screening criteria? And will this turn into a potential travel ban for the world? Could we see traffic completely stop for activity around the world? Could we see that? Could we have all flights grounded around the world? I don't know. It's a good question. It's one that, as it goes on, it concerns me very much, because I feel as if it could be a trap for then creating something like AB 99 in New York. Let's go look. We're going to go look up AB 99, because I really think you guys need to see what AB 99 is about and why I'm concerned that this could be something that they knew about. Okay? Because whether you want to believe it or not, Bill Gates, yes, Bill Gates, Microsoft Bill Gates, just recently in October of 2019, he basically made an exercise that, Ron has done many of these exercises as an emergency manager. I have dealt with real life ones working with USCF and hurricanes. But Bill Gates created a pandemic exercise through one of his corporations called Pinbridge. Okay, and PureBridge is a company who has some coronavirus vaccine patents and some of the patents that you guys have probably seen shared around on multiple shows. And we have more patents here too that we can show people. And even compositions and methods for treating coronavirus infection. We've got quite a few things that are interesting, but the video speaks volumes. And I'm going to show you the video. Actually, yeah, let's show you the video, because it's a mock kind of jam deal. And we're going to show you what it is. Alright, I'm going to show it maybe so that they don't pop me so hard. Alright. We're going to grab this and we're going to figure this out. It's sick, this video, because he 3 months ago in October did a whole exercise called Project 201. And in this project, they mock a pandemic coronavirus. And what would it be like if a pandemic coronavirus hit the world? How many people would be dead? Bill Gates said 30 million in 6 months. So this is why a lot of people are concerned, because this man has threatened for years about having a pandemic, and then his company comes out with a pandemic exercise. So we're going to go look at that. We're going to grab this link. I'm going to try to see if I can get it. I think I already posted it once, but it's hard to go through this because they're literally censoring everybody who's posting about it, and we're having a hard time finding the patents, and because they're fact checking them on Facebook, and that fact check on Facebook is correct. There is no patent on the current coronavirus. True, correct, because this is the novel 2019 strain. But there are patents on all the other coronaviruses, of which this one heralds, like SARS and MERS. And so that's what's important. So yes, the fact checker is correct, but what we're looking at is that every other coronavirus has a patent or vaccine. Like, that's a big deal. So that's where I drop the crap, because it's okay. Yes, that is true, but so let's see if we can. It says I'm gonna have to send this to Mel again, because for some reason this just does not want to work with me tonight, and it doesn't want to give me what I need. So if I post it from here and then put all my fun links in here, then I can actually grab them. Okay, so here's the video. I'm going to pull this out.